Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and it's time for our day one patch review where we add one of the largest balance patches in Hearthstone history, which saw a ton of nerfs, a ton of buffs, and we streamed all day, played like every single mode, and I've scoured social media for everybody's takes and all that. I'm gonna give mine, but overall, really cool patch, really fun patch, lots to talk about, as well as some other things with the first core set card of the upcoming core set rotation, which will happen in April, has been confirmed. It's a doozy, I'll tell you that. As well as we'll go over the controversy of whether Maestra the Masquerade should be entitled to a dust refund, as there has been a lot of talk about that, as well as Hearthstone launching its brand new creator program, which looks really cool, and we'll talk about that in case maybe that's something you are striving for. If you would like to support the channel, feel like I've earned your subscription, hit that sub button down below, give the video a like. It helps the channel out a ton, especially as we're on the road to 69,420 subs. Also, as always, friendly reminder for all nerfed cards, type in refund in your collection manager and they will pop up. If you want to disenchant, see what's been nerfed, you can always type in refund and they always pop up. So just be aware of that. I will remind you guys every single patch. So yes, we had a bunch of Rogue, a Demon Hunter nerfs, as well as one Death Knight nerf, and a Hunter Shock Spitter in particular. And take a look very early. These are very early HS replay numbers across all ranks. Looks pretty good. Warriors still pretty screwed. This Priest number should go up. You'll see in a second why. But yeah, it's looking all right. Really hard to evaluate early on, but all the modes are a lot more balanced than they were a month ago. I have to say, there's a lot more green, there's a lot more diversity, and that feels pretty good. So taking a look, we're going to take a look at top 1000 legend over the past 24 hours. Again, it's really early to see, but you can see the early effects, at least, of how the meta has been feeling. When I played, first off, it was just nice to know if I was facing a rogue or not. I didn't face a single Maestra deck, so I don't have to deal with that. I could actually mulligan for the class I'm facing, and that felt really good. But you can see here, tier 1, rather than just Demon Hunter or Rogue or Hunter, we've got a bunch of stuff going on. Evolved Shaman, front runner for best deck so far. A lot of people thought it would be pretty good, and people were worried that, you know, Shaman didn't get any buffs, but feel like as you see a lot of these numbers, Shaman's doing fine. They had stuff, they were just being held back, but you see Pure Paladin moved all the way up to tier 1, at least for now. But you got decks like Big Spell Mage, Aggro Demon Hunter, Blessed Priest, Spell Demon Hunter, Control Shaman, and the one that makes me the happiest to see, at least early on, very early, it has a positive win rate, Unholy Death Knight. They've had to buff like 80 billion cards for this deck, but it seems like maybe it's finally at the level of playability. But you'll note Frost Death Knight nowhere to be found here early on, and you have a lot of, you know, you even have Plague Priest up there. Again, very early numbers, we'll have to wait and see, but a lot of buffs have changed stuff, nerfs have changed stuff, and overall, it's not just Rogue, it's not just Demon Hunter, and you know, it's not just Shock Spitter Hunter, which still seems to be doing all right. But when I played ladder, it just felt really refreshing to face other classes. I don't know where you've been playing, but I play it like relatively high legend, and all I've been facing is Rogue, Demon Hunter, Rogue, Demon Hunter, and while I faced a bunch of everything, and I played like Casino Mage, it was fun. I highly recommend checking out Hearthstone ladder right now if you can. I don't know how long it'll last, but ladder felt pretty good. And even if you look at tier 3, tier 4, there's plenty of other options. Frost Death Knight down to 48%. I'm wondering if that'll go up at all. Blood Death Knight, 47%. Thief Rogue is kind of the fallback that a lot of people are going to, even without Knowles, going back to like the Secret Agent, whatever the 3/3 card is, Double Agent, and oh yeah, Control Warrior, those buffs. I don't think there's any saving Warrior at this point. Like, rotation's got to do something. It's just brutal for Warrior, and I don't even see Enraged Warrior up here yet. And we go through Diamond through Legend, just a quick look, and not High Legend. It's a little bit different picture here, where it's like Beast Hunter, the more straightforward decks. Even Shock Spitter nerfed at least 24 hours, last one day, and that'll have like some game size, or some game samples from before the patch. But you can see it's definitely changed up a bunch. Again, I'll have deck recommendations probably tomorrow. I always wait a day or two before I start saying, you know, play this to climb to legend, because 24 hours isn't the greatest, way to do it, but it gives you a first early impression. And overall, I have to say, the patch just felt super refreshing. Wild felt the same, because the patch just doesn't affect Wild. It's still the same stuff, but Standard, I had a really good time today. And you look at all these decks, there's just a lot of different stuff to try, at least now, and be successful with. Again, no guarantees it's going to last for very long, but we got a mini set coming out probably in a couple of weeks, because Thora Brawl's coming, so that means the mini set's coming right after. I will say my big criticism, which I knew was going to happen for me at least going into this patch, is basically really sick of facing like cards like Brand all the time. This is more of a higher legend one, but Radiant with the infinite like Savannah stuff. Before that was Boon, before that was Wig. Always the same spamming of 0 mana spells over and over. And with Shadow Steppin', I don't see any of these problems being resolved until rotation. So basically for a patch like this, it's probably as good as it's going to get until the mini set comes out. But overall, Evolved Shaman again seems to be the big winner. John Bray even tweeted out 116 games in a row with Evolved Shaman post-patch, and he says never Q Priest. So maybe that'll be a deck that will pop up in the deck recommendations tomorrow. But overall, I was really pleased by the patch. There's nothing new in the shop, by the way. No major bugs that I'm aware of. Pretty straightforward patch. Don't have to highlight too much of that. So let's move on to the next thing, which is we have a core set card. A core set card has effectively been revealed. And what am I talking about? Well, Play Hearthstone just the other day put out a poll saying this is not a drill, which 0 mana 1/1 minion should be in the next core set. This poll is closed. You can no longer vote on it, but it was between Murloc Tinyfin, Wisp, Snowflipper Penguin, and Death Skimp. I was on Team Murloc Tinyfin. You can see I voted for it. But yeah, Snowflipper Penguin with nearly 50% of the votes will be the 0 mana 1/1 minion in the next core sets. Confirmed by the devs, this was official. This will actually determine it. So yeah, Snowflipper, who Ben Hearthstone here showing it off. It's got that pretty cool animation and all that. You can't really go too wrong with it. So I would have liked to see my Murloc boy get in there, but overall, I'll live with the Snowflipper. The other big thing, though, that came of it was Maestra of the Masquerade. Basically, Wild Paw Null basically got murdered. The card, not really playable, and a ton of people crafted Maestra because of that interaction. It was busted. And Maestra, outside of that, outside of making your opponent guess the mulligan, or you're playing like the double agent card or whatever it's called. I should look at the card, but you'll see the image there, so you'll know if I'm right or wrong on the card. Yeah, this card effectively is like a Bloodfin Raptor a lot of the time, and people feel pretty bad about it. And on the Hearthstone subreddit, there was a lot of talk about it. A lot of talk about people being entitled about wanting their dust back, where it's like, where was it? There's still double agent, I guess, or they often nerf cards indirectly like this. Lol, I love collecting rogue tiers. It's hard to have sympathy when, that card is terrorized for so long, but there has been precedent set in both ways in the past. Mech Engineer Thermoplug, originally when this card got indirectly nerfed because Leper Gnome, this card here went from a 2/1 to a 1/1. We didn't get a dust refund back in the day for that, even though it was basically nerfed. This card was basically nerfed, but more indirectly. However, recently we saw Kargal Battle Scar when Bar Watch Post got nerfed, and I believe Morshan Watch Post got nerfed. They originally weren't going to get full dust, and then they did after listening to community complaints, because this card got worse because these other cards got worse. It still summons 5/5, still does the same thing. You'd argue this card got nerfed harder because it summons 1/1s instead of 2/1s, but at the end of the day, I think it'd be a very good gesture for them to offer dust refunds on a card like this, where even mentioned in the patch notes, the interaction, why they made the change because of that interaction. And I don't think Blizzard has been ultra stingy with dust these days. Even look at the Wild Seeds cards. They nerfed them twice. Every Wild Seeds card got a refund on it. So maybe they'll listen and give a dust refund on it. If they don't, I'll be disappointed, but I don't think it's worth losing our minds over. But overall, yeah, I do think they should give it. It makes sense considering how little the card has ever been relevant outside of cheating out Wild Paw Nulls, because that's really what it's always been about. Also wanted to give a quick update. I did a little shitpost like I like to do on on Twitter. Basically, balance update, standard BG's duels getting them wild, not really, kind of, and Mercenaries being dead. I got a reply from Space Prez. He's a dev on the Hearthstone team, saying just sit tight, game dev takes time, we got good stuff coming. So if you're looking for Mercs content, they haven't abandoned the mode, there's stuff coming. He just wanted to let us know it's coming, so wanted to provide that quick little update. And then lastly, there was also the announcement of the creator program is finally here, a way for people to apply to get, there's a content creator Discord that I'm still not a part of. 5+ years in the game, many subs, followers, theory craft streams, bundle giveaways, all that. I'm still not even a part of it. So it's pretty cool for me to see this. I don't know if I'll get into it, but it's all outlined. It'll be in the description below. This was all put together by Alkali Lake and the Hearthstone community management team. They worked their butts off to get this done, and basically adding transparency to how you can get in there. If you create Hearthstone content, whether you're a smaller creator, bigger creator, they give outlines on it. You can kind of go to the creator program website. They have their own website for it, what they're looking for, what they can do for you, you know, giveaway codes, maybe you can get events or merch stuff. You've seen me actually get some merch stuff, and as you see, if you're not a part of the program, you could still get things regardless as a content creator. But there was some like kind of concern about it, where it's like you have to average 200 viewers on Twitch, which is really hard. I do, thankfully, because I've got an awesome community. But overall, Alkali has said these aren't set in stone. All the requirements for like streamer, YouTuber, podcast, they're there to give you a rough idea, but they may accept you one way or the other. Or like I said, for me, you might get bundle giveaways or stuff like that, even if you can't qualify. But I know the vast majority of you guys here aren't content creators, aren't getting involved, but I wanted to throw that out there. Just give a big shout out to Alkali putting this all together. It's just a big bonus for the community that they didn't have to do, and I really hope it works out, because you know, it brings the community bit together. And then when you have the transparency, like before, where it was like the secret little society club that, how do I get in? I don't know. They got to DM me and hope. At least there's a way to go through it. And yeah, you can apply directly through this apply now thing. I will be doing that myself. Whether I get in or not, I don't know. Not a big deal. But either way, I'm just happy the program is there. So there you go. Our day one patch review. Go play some Hearthstone. If you haven't yet, I actually recommend it. I'm having some fun until the mini set comes along and ruins it, or you know, the meta settles, we figure out the broken deck, and then start complaining about that probably by like Saturday or Sunday. But we'll give it a little bit of a break, as this patch was pretty damn good. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.